gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm Robert. Alright, the WWE Evolution Review, the first ever all-women's pay-per-view in WWE history. Going into the show, I've seen a lot of things online, people saying the card was underwhelming. You have to watch WWE programming with low expectations so it exceeds those expectations. Otherwise, you'll be disappointed. I will go over some things that I was disappointed with to begin with before I even talk about the card. One, there was no talk of the NXT UK brand and the NXT United Kingdom champion, Rhea Ripley. WWE dropped the ball with putting the NXT UK show on the network. They started it too late in order to have that champion in that match on this card. So we already, off the bat, have not got anything going on with NXT UK Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley, who was in the crowd, wasn't acknowledged anything about United Kingdom, was because of the Mae Young Classic. WWE would have started the NXT UK a little earlier. They could have had that match on the card. I think you took away there. The only NXT women you had on the card was Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane. Is it because they were the Mae Young Classic finals last year, and you had the Mae Young Classic finals on here this year? I think that's the only reason the NXT title was on the card. So this is more the main event women's stuff, and that was it. Which is fine. You had some of the legends come back, which was fine also. But even what Stephanie said when they announced the show, over 50 women will be involved. I counted 38 on the card because of the 20-woman Battle Royal. You had no surprises in the Battle Royal. You had no, I don't know. They could have done a lot more with it. So we're gonna run down the card. Card wasn't bad. The matches were good. I was happy with the matches. Wasn't really happy with the match order, but I was happy with the matches. First match, tag team match. Alexa Bliss supposedly teaming with Mickie James versus Trish and Lita. Initially, this was supposed to be a one-on-one with Alexa Bliss and Trish, and then Lita versus Mickie James. Okay, fine with that. Then they made the tag match. Okay, I'm down with that. Alexa Bliss is hurt. Injuries happen. We move forward. You put Alicia Fox in her place. You know what? Alicia Fox has been around a long time. She's been part of the transition from the Diva to the women's division in the Revolution. Makes perfect sense. Trish and Lita, in their day, they were the best there was. In their prime, to what we have today of women's wrestling, they would be top 5, top 10. I don't think they would be the elite. Sasha's better. Charlotte, Asuka, Becky, Bayley, Millie McKenzie, Toni Storm, Shayna Baszler. I mean, all these women are better, which is, it's fine. But to me, when you have Hall of Famers like Trish and Lita coming back this long after they retired, there was some ring rust. They hit their spots. They hit all their moves. They got the victory. Stratus pinned James, which was kind of appropriate because of all the feud they had, because Mickie James came in as a stalkist fan of Trish, wanted to be Trish, dressed like Trish. Mickie had her last match versus Trish. Or Trish had her last match versus Mickie. Mickie and Lita had Lita's last match. So yeah, there's a lot of history here. It was a fitting match. I gave it 3-star. Trish getting a pinfall, which was cool. This was one of those, oh, it's a cool moment. Okay, next we had a 20-woman Battle Royal. We had some names in here from the past that looked really old. Which, same way with the Royal Rumble, they've always had the Hall of Famers in there, so it's the same difference. Naomi, Michelle McCool. McCool looked alright. One thing I did notice, she never hit the McCool Clash, or whatever the fuck she was calling it back in the day when she was mocking AJ with AJB and WWE. She never hit that move. So, Sonya Deville, Lundra Blaze, she looking old. She is pretty old. I mean, you could tell she looked alright coming out there. It's kind of like when Ricky Steamboat or Jimmy Snuka before he passed, one of those guys when they would come out. Carmella, Zelina Vega, Kelly, she looked alright. I actually rode in an elevator with Kelly at WrestleCon and WrestleMania this year. None of us realized it was fucking Kelly until she gets out of the elevator and Jamie was like, son of a bitch, that was Kelly. We're like, what the fuck? We weren't even paying attention. Tamina Snuka, she looked bad. Ember Moon, huge Ember Moon fan. She's one of the top women out there. Lana, Maria Kanellis, Mandy Rose. Where's Corey Graves at when Mandy Rose comes out? I mean, Corey Graves should have just popped up like, Mandy Rose is here. Boy's got a crush on her. Molly Holly, Dana Brooke, Nia Jax, Ivory, Asuka, Tori Wilson, Peyton Royce, and Billie Kay. I mean, it was an overall decent battle royal. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce come out together, cutting a promo with the Iconics. They were the first two eliminated. Now, these announcers, either they don't pay attention or they're just watching the in the ring. Because at one point they said, it came down to, they said there was 4 left. Well, it was Ivory, Asuka, Tamina. No, so 4 left was Nia Jax, Ember, Tamina, Asuka. Well, Zelina Vega hadn't been eliminated yet. To my knowledge, Naomi never got eliminated. Unless they didn't show it, Naomi never got eliminated from this match. Zelina Vega went under the bottom rope, came back in, ended up getting eliminated. The final 2 came down to Nia Jax and Ember Moon, which I was fine with. I was really hoping for. I mean, I was fine with either one of them, but I was really hoping that Ember Moon would win. I just think she is the shizzles when it comes to the ring. She's one of the top women out there. Nia Jax ended up getting the win. I do think Nia Jax is a good wrestler. A lot of people don't. Nia Jax had a fantastic match, NXT TakeOver London versus Asuka. That I thought was one of her best matches. But you figure the winner of this, whichever brand they were on, they got a ton of matches on that brand. So we'll have Nia Jax as the number 1 contender for the Raw Women's title versus the winner of Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella. Next we had the so I actually gave that 3 1/4. I thought it was pretty good. Next we had the Mae Young Classic Finals. We had Toni Storm versus Io Shirai. Yeah, these names are kind of weird. So yeah, I mean, Toni Storm, Progress Wrestling, first ever Progress Wrestling Women's Champion. Part of the Mae Young Classic. 2 years, both years, she's been in Mae Young Classic. I've watched her progress, so I know a lot more about Toni Storm this go around than last year at Mae Young Classic. She is one of the top women in the world. She's like 23 years old. Io Shirai, I don't know anything about her except for the Mae Young Classic, and I'm not really finished watching the Mae Young Classic either. So I obviously knew the finals already before I started watching the Classic, so I wasn't too concerned. Io Shirai did this top rope moonsault to the outside on Toni Storm, which was really freaking cool. Storm does a freaking German on Shirai on the apron, which you could tell that fucking hurt. But yeah, these two women took it to each other. Toni Storm ended up getting the victory. Nice, clean, in the middle of the ring victory. But, you know, she's a Mae Young Classic winner. So I'm assuming, I don't know if they're going to, I'm assuming she'll go on to NXT UK because she's actually from Australia. So I could see her on back and forth on both NXT brands. But she's been doing a lot of work in the United Kingdom. I gave it 3.5. We'll definitely see this match going forward again. Maybe we'll see this match for the NXT UK title next year. Just like we've seen last year's Mae Young Classic winners this year for the NXT title. Next, we had a 6-woman tag. We had the Riot Squad, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, and Ruby Riott versus the team of Sasha Banks, Natalya, and Bayley. This match was good. It's one of the best women tag matches I've seen in a while. Banks ended up getting the pin on Liv Morgan. I actually gave it 3 3/4. It was just good. Each of the women did their thing and just kind of it's got a good flow to it. Had some false finishes, things I really enjoy about watching wrestling. So it was really good. Next match we had the NXT Women's title on the line, which was the Mae Young Classic rematch. And we've also had this match multiple times on NXT TakeOvers. Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane for the NXT Women's title. It's a rematch from Brooklyn. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, I gave this match 4.25. 4.25, 4.5, one of those. I can't remember which one it was now. I looked it up earlier and forgot. But yes, this match has the potential of being really good. It's like the 5th or 6th time these women have faced off. Shayna Baszler won the initial... Kairi Sane won the initial match on last year's Mae Young Classic Finals. Shayna Baszler won the first rematch, and then they've actually had a couple matches for the title. I believe this is the 3rd match for the title. So yeah. So this match, I already knew it was going to be good, which it was, and that's the one thing that Shayna Baszler's been trying to get out of Kairi Sane is that killer instinct. Kairi was kind of that more kind of meek, more kind of happy-go-lucky, kind of Bayley type. Shayna's that just cutthroat striker, submission wrestler who would rather just kick your face in and be nicey nice to you. She's been trying to get that killer instinct out of Kairi Sane during all the matches, and it came out at TakeOver Brooklyn a lot. Kairi Sane was able to win the NXT Women's title then from Shayna Baszler because of that killer instinct she had. So going into this match, it was the same deal, you know. Kairi Sane's just kind of that, I would say high flyer, but she does a lot more aerial stuff, and then Shayna Baszler, and that's what it was. Each woman did what they do, and Shayna Baszler had the submissions, ended up getting the victory by submission over Kairi Sane. Sane didn't tap out; she passed out. I gave it 3 3/4. It was a really, really good match. It wasn't as good as their TakeOver Brooklyn match was, but a lot of times the rematches aren't as good as the originals. But definitely worth watching if you've not seen it. Next, we had the SmackDown Live Women's title line. First time ever, last women's standing match. I didn't think that was right. I'm like, we've had last man standing matches for women's matches. I'm like, only WWE. For what I looked up real quick, WWE hasn't had that. I guess because I've watched so much other wrestling this year between Impact and Ring of Honor and Progress and New Japan and Defiant and Defy that I've seen the last woman standing match in Progress. I'm like, what? But yeah, last woman standing. Becky Lynch defending her title versus Charlotte Flair. But yeah, if this wasn't one of the best women's matches ever, I thought it flowed well. I thought the fact they used tables, they used ladders, they used chairs, which, hint, hint, the last pay-per-view of the year is a tables, ladders, and chairs match. WWE, make it the women's match. Don't fuck it up. Make it these two. It works. I mean, we've had Hell in a Cell for women. We had the Chamber. Have a TLC match. Go ahead. I mean, obviously Charlotte and Becky, we know can do it. I'm pretty sure Ember Moon can do it. Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey. All these women can do these matches. Just do it already. Just like making such a big deal about this being the first ever women's pay-per-view, which is fine and dandy. They should have done that years ago. Number one, you have Playboy pillow fight women's matches at Mania as a joke, and you don't understand why people don't take women's wrestling seriously. There's multiple companies out there that only focus on women's wrestling. Shimmer and Shine. Hello? That's where most of this talent came from. So don't give me the bullshit of saying that WWE is just now getting into the women's revolution. The women have been out there. WWE should have just went and got them. So this match here, Charlotte did this flip off the top rope through a table. Missed, hit Becky Lynch. Table didn't break though. Figure 8 through the ladder. Oh my god. Charlotte wrapped Becky's legs through a ladder and did the figure 8. Obviously Becky's tapping. It's a no DQ match, no tap outs, no count outs. Last woman standing. Becky Lynch did a leg drop from the ladder through the announce table, which was a 6 spot. After that spot, Becky just starts fucking burying Charlotte in chairs and take all the announce table's chairs and just piling junk on top of her. Almost got the 10 count there. At 9, Charlotte gets up and just had this look on her face like, I'm gonna kill you, you fucking bitch. Goes after her with a kendo stick. It's like, holy shit. They were setting up tables on the outside, and that's where the last spot came from. Becky Lynch did this freaking powerball from the turnbuckle, Charlotte through a table. Some men don't take the spots that some of these women did in this match. She did this freaking turnbuckle powerbomb spot. Charlotte wasn't getting up. Charlotte got up to her knees at 8. Right when she got to her knees and just dropped back down. So she failed the 10 count. So Becky Lynch was able to retain her title. I gave it 4.5. The first few minutes of the match, I'm like, huh, really? This match is happening right now? What the hell? But it got good. 28 minutes long, I think it was officially. So yeah, I mean, they gave it time. I'm saying 4.5. It's one of the best women's matches ever. Which is sad to say in this day and age that how many men's matches can we say that's the best men's match ever? Very rarely. So, WWE, I mean, overall this card was good. There's just a few things I didn't like about it, which I said at the beginning. But overall, it wasn't bad. Main event, which I kind of knew was going to happen, Raw Women's title, Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella. I was kind of comparing this match to a Brock Lesnar when he returned from UFC versus like a John Cena movie star kind of TV star guy. This is like a Lesnar-Cena match, main eventing a card with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, last man standing in a sub-main. So you know the sub-main match is going to be better than your main event, but it's only your main event because there's names in it. Ronda Rousey, the former UFC champion, Strikeforce champion. Nikki Bella, Total Divas, Total Bellas. It's the only reason it was a main event. Starts out with Nikki basically taking it to Ronda Rousey. So, alright. Brie Bella gets involved a couple times, distracting Ronda, attacking Ronda behind the referee's back. Alright. I mean, it was okay there. And Ronda was getting, I mean, Nikki was taking it to her. Yes, I know Nikki's a 2-time women's champion. She's the longest reigning women's champion ever, says Asuka in NXT. But it's like, okay, come on. I mean, Nikki hasn't been in a title match since 2015. Nikki isn't a full-time wrestler anymore. So she kind of took it to her. And Ronda started kind of getting the upper hand for a minute. Ronda went to do something off the top rope, did a flying crossbody off the top rope, completely fucking missed Nikki because she moved. Nikki ended up doing... It looked really fucking awkward. I had to watch it like 3 or 4 times to see what the fuck it was. Nikki went to do a baseball slide and just like, and just died. Just literally fucking died on the fucking... When she hit the mat, she's like died. She gets down and was like holding her neck. I'm like, what the fuck did she do? I don't know what the hell she did. It's just like she just went to do a baseball slide like that. So I don't know what the hell happened. She got back in the ring. She seemed alright. But that's when kind of Ronda Rousey took over. I mean, Rousey had scratches on her head, on her face. And she was just, her face was red. Kind of reminded me of a Brock Lesnar a little bit. Because just that, you know, I'm going to kick your fucking ass. She ends up wanting to do, it almost looked like an F5. She went to pick up Nikki and Brie at the same time. You could legit see Brie climbing on the Nikki's back on the shoulders of Ronda Rousey. I mean, it's not like she grabbed her and was able to pull her up. You could see Nikki climbing. I'm like, oh, that took away from that spot a little bit. But yeah, so she does this like looks like a kind of like a modified F5 with both Bellas. Nikki ended up tapping out to Ronda Rousey, so Ronda won by submission to retain her Raw Women's title. I gave it 3.5. It was good. I mean, I was fine with the overall card. I didn't think any matches really were bad. They were all good. They had their spots. They meant something. Yeah, it is definitely, the women's revolution. Unfortunately, I hate to think what I've been reading online is true, that the only reason WWE decided to do this all-women's pay-per-view is because of the two shows in Saudi Arabia that women are not allowed on the card, the one from April and the one this Friday. If that is the only reason they did this show, WWE's fucking lunatics. Completely fucking lunatics. But if they did this show because the women deserve it, because women's wrestling is becoming in the forefront, because of the women's revolution, which once the women became talented and WWE and other wrestling companies let the women be wrestlers and not women's wrestlers, I was fine with it. I have no issue watching a women's match. I watch Shine, I've watched Shimmer 100, I've watched this one. I have spreadsheets on my computer where I'm keeping track of all the men's matches 4-star and above. I'm keeping track of all the women's matches that I would consider 3-star and above. The only reason I'm doing that for women 3 instead of 4 is there's less matches to see women-wise. So there's going to be less matches. I want at least 100 plus, and I have that already. So in 2019, probably right around the 15th, the second week of 2015, I'll be doing videos, the best women's matches of 2018, the best men's matches, the best intergender tag matches. All 3 of those are going to be probably near 100 matches plus. So I'm going to do kind of more of a introduction, a list, and then kind of go over the last 15, 20, some of the better ones. And I may even break it down by company, haven't decided yet. What I want WWE to do with the women's division is what I want. I don't want the 2 different women's titles. Raw title, SmackDown title. There's no point. I just don't, there's no feud between the brands. It's more of I think it's a waste. You have a women's division. Boom. Women's division. You have a women's world title. You have a women's, I would say like IC type title, mid-card title. Women's Intercontinental title. Bam. Women tag titles. 3 women's titles. Every pay-per-view you have 12 shows a year. WWE. You don't need more than that. 1 a month. Boom. 1 a month. If you want to take one of those a month and do, or even add an all-women's show, that's fine. Do it. Maybe have 4 all-women's pay-per-views a month, kind of like you do TakeOver. Have, your 5 takeovers. Maybe have 5 women's, whatever, pay-per-views a month. Still have a few matches on the other pay-per-view cards. But then women have their thing, NXT has their thing, main roster has their thing. You need to add cruiserweight tag titles. WWE is so big, they have so much things they can do, there's so many things they need to do to enhance the product. I'm glad they did this show, I'm glad they did the all-women. I want it to be continued. I like the Mae Young Classic. I like the Cruiserweight Classic. I like the stuff that Tripp's doing. I like NXT. The future of professional wrestling, we haven't seen, we don't know what it's going to look like. I want to predict, in 20 years from now, the future, I've said this before, the future of professional wrestling is going to be, wrestlers will have a WWE contract for, say, 200 dates. They will have a New Japan contract for 100 dates. They'll have a Progress contract for 50 dates, or whatever it is, whatever variety of that is. You're not going to see the WWE not talking about anybody else. They're it. Nobody else exists. You're not going to see that. You're going to see like what Progress does, like what Impact does, like what Ring of Honor does, where Progress has somebody on the show, they're running down their list of accomplishments. They're saying, okay, when Chris Hero or Cassius Ohno was on NXT, it's, he used to be called Chris Hero. He's, Ring of Honor this, he was WWE this, he was NXT, boom, 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 boom. They're telling the whole story of who that person is. That's where Tripp, I think, wants to get the level of professional wrestling. You don't necessarily need the giant of professional wrestling. You almost need the old territories again, or a version of that. Alright, so wraps up the WWE Evolution pay-per-view results review. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, Sports Channel content.